So everyone, a very heartbreaking day, I would say, for Zimbabwe cricket. They went so much close, almost won the game, took wickets against Sri Lanka in the first T20 international match, but it was a game of nerves which Sri Lanka won. So we have got a panel today. From in the right side, we have got in a grey shirt, we can say Ayan Chatterjee. So Ayan, I would like to first ask about Zimbabwe's batting. They impressed everyone, like scoring around 1 plus 70 odd runs. Just it was just a matter of 15 or 20 or 10 more runs. Like that could have been made a difference. What do you say?
Yes, I think so because Zimbabwe made 175, which was a very good score on that Harare pitch. I felt. I mean, had they scored 10, 15 runs, as you said, they could have been a winning total. And I think special mention to Brian Bennett. I think he was spectacular. Yeah, and he was ably supported by players around him, like Sikandar Raza and others that came in after that. So Brian Bennett, special mention to him. He could have easily got the Player of the Match award, and had Zimbabwe bowled a little better, they would have got the job done in the end. But that happens, when you're an inexperienced team, not playing at this level, when you're playing an experienced team like Sri Lanka, even in T20 cricket, one over can make a difference. And we'll talk about that later. But as batting is concerned, I thought it was a good batting performance. Yes, 10, 15 runs, I felt they left it at the ground because I felt towards the end they lost their plot a little bit, 1 or 2 overs. So that made the difference. I think had they made say 185, 190, I think they would have that been a winning score. So that's what I
Yeah,
would say.
on my left we have got the senior veteran, we can say dynamic young Anup sir. So Anup sir, like Zimbabwe is still dependent on the Raza because see, the score was 160 for 3, it did 18.3 or 2 overs. They had 10 deliveries. They could have easily touched more than 20 runs. Like the obsession with Sikandar Raza not scoring runs in the death overs once again haunted them because see, it was a batting track. It was nothing great for the fast bowlers, for the spinners. They had to work, toil a lot. So, what do you make out of Zimbabwe's lower middle order? Because you also need that finishing touches, right?
Yeah, true. But today's match in particular, if we consider, Sitandar Raza was out in the 12th over itself with a score of around 109 for 3. Then it was up to Brian Bennett, who, yes, was in tremendous form, scoring his second half century in 3 innings. So he just in one day he was not in form, but today, in T20 is a different gravy. Might he will be he feels liberated at the top, giving a license to go in the T20. It seems. But as you say, Sikandar Raza was out in the 12th over. The responsibility then lied on the shoulders of Ryan Bull, who himself is the most experienced batter, alongside alongside Brian Bennett. And these two duo, they did stitch a partnership of 50 odd runs. But if you see the batting of Ryan Bull, he was ultimately slow in the batting. He didn't pick up the rate when it was required and got out at the wrong moment. So Sikandar Raza, yes, not all the time Raza will give you runs, but yes, he actually had set a good base, making a good comeback after Zimbabwe were two out in the power play for 59 runs odd. So Raza and Bennett, they set a base with a 50-run partnership, and then another 50-run partnership. Zimbabwe were on track at 160 for 3. But the last 2 overs where Dushmanta Chamira came back and took 2 wickets and total tally of 3 wickets, and the final over where they were just horrendous shots being played and a silly run out of Evans. It didn't help the cause of Zimbabwe. They were short by 10, 15 runs as everyone thought, and the Sri Lanka too. I thought Zimbabwe missed their chances with the ball as well. Same thing happened in the first ODI as well, if we all remember. Zimbabwe required 10 of the last over, and immediately from nowhere, Dilshan Madhushanta created a hat trick and became an
Yeah,
unlikely throw. Otherwise, Zimbabwe would have gone 1-0 up in the series, and the one day series would have been drawn 1-1. So,
yeah,
Zimbabwe,
yes, yes,
at the
yeah,
moment, yes, they are in the learning curve, winning Athens beat teams like Sri Lanka, which are bigger in status than them. But in learning curve, they have to learn more to convert opportunities into winning positions. Once they start learning that, they would be a fair enough team to fight. And yes, we still, this is a more, there are two T20s, so it will be easier to see then how Zimbabwe fights back on the sixth. That's my take.
Yes,
But
yes, yes. I
Sitanta
get
Raja
you.
not is like not dependent on him because today Brian Bennett showed that what he can do. Even Sean Williams got start. He didn't convert it because Sean Williams is a pretty handy batter at the top also. Playing after 15 months in T20 and his first ball was a boundary. So
Yes, yes, I get
it's
you. Yes, yes, yes. There's scope, but let's go ahead with Abhijeet Kalia. Like Abhijeet, like Brendan Taylor is in the bench. Like they didn't select him for this match. It was quite astonishing to see. What's your take on that? Because if Brendan Taylor's experience, that techniques, that expertise, we can say, then that can be a huge dangerous batting lineup. Like there won't be much pressure on Raza on the rest of batting lineup as well. What's your take?
First of all, thank you for having me. I think the Brenton Taylor was benched in this match because I think Zimbabwe wanted to try some new faces too. I think Zimbabwe has faced some problems like this in past before. Their batting, their middle order batting has been struggling too much. Their upper batsmen like the Brian Bennett scored a brilliant 81 runs with 16 boundaries, but still they need a dependable batsman. They are too much dependent on Sikandar Raza. And on the other hand, the Sri Lankan team, they always put trust on their reliable batsmen like Kushal Pereira and Nishanka. Yeah, that's what makes the Sri Lankan different from Zimbabwe players, that they have a strong middle order. They can perform at pressure situations, and I think if there are two more T20 matches, I think Zimbabwe needs to bring Taylor into action, and because they need a dependable batsman, and there's no better option than him. So I think Zimbabwe will make some few changes in it, and it will be an interesting match to see because Zimbabwe, even though Zimbabwe had lost, they have put up a great fight, and I think the main eyes will be on Brian Bennett, and I think he will be the main batter who will lead the Zimbabwe for the victory. And I think one more point, I think the Zimbabwe should not rely much on Sikandar Raza. He is a good player, he is a dependable player, but still they need other players to step up. Uh, the main reason behind the Zimbabwe's loss is that their players are not backing each other up. They were too close they were close to victory, but still Sri Lankan got better of them. So I think that's my take.
Yes, it's not only about Raza, he's 39. We should not forget he's not 29, that you take responsibility of batting. So आयुष शेखर, आपको क्या लगता है मतलब क्या जिम्बाब्वे की बैटिंग की वजह से वो हारे या बॉलिंग की वजह से, या इट वाज अ कलेक्टिव फेलियर?
इट इट वाज अ कलेक्टिव फेलियर। अगर आप देखें तो मैंने वो पूरा मैच देखा तो नहीं था, करना मैंने वहां से मैच देखा जहां से रिचर्ड नगारवा के ओवर में सबसे ज्यादा रन पड़े। शानका का डिसमिसल भी देखा, रिचर्ड नगारवा का भी देखा। अभी आप दो ओडीआई मैच की सीरीज हार के आ रहे हो। आपके पास एक बेटर चांस था कि आप श्रीलंका को कर सकते थे, हरा सकते थे इस सीरीज में, लेकिन आपने वो चांस गंवा दिया। 170 रन। आप देखो पाकिस्तान वर्सेस अफगानिस्तान वाले मैच में 170 रन कैसे डिफेंड हुए। आपको वहां से थोड़ा सा इंस्पायर्ड होके ये करना था, लेकिन आपके पास उस तरह के बॉलर्स नहीं है कि डेथ ओवर में आपको नो डाउट के जीत दिलवा सके।
Yeah, like जीत सकते थे. Like it looks quite a bad. We are not supporting Zimbabwe entirely, but we want Zimbabwe to be great again, just like the 2003, 2004 era. It was like 2003 ODI World Cup as well. but they're not peaking. Like there is signs of improvement and everything. So Abhijit, we're getting back to you again. So there was a big over in the 18th over, like more than 20 runs, like precisely speaking, 26 or something, 28 runs were considered. A no ball was bowled, a free hit, a six, a four. That's a crime. We can say you can't concede that much. That completely changed the game. What is it?
I think that's the
Uh,
main problem
see,
with the Zimbabwe team. Their players are not that much experienced. They are not able to handle the pressure situation very well. So I think it's good for Zimbabwe players because these are kind of situations which make an ordinary player a great player who can handle pressures well. So I think Zimbabwe simply gave away their victory. They had a good chance. Their players were batting really well. They really need to work on their bowling department too, and also they need to bring Taylor back. So I think there are some few matches too. There are some T20 matches too. I think Zimbabwe has still a chance. Their player, I think they need to trust on their skills. Their bowlers needs to step their game up, because no player can alone win the match for a team. There needs to be a collective effort for the team. I think that's my take.
Yeah, Ayan, your take, like in even in the last 5 overs, we got a gut feeling that Sri Lanka might succumb to pressure. There might be some collapse. That twist also happened. Like it was great match, I would say. But your take, like Zimbabwe's bowling, did that hurt them?
Their bowling hurt them, but I think if you look at it, the one over made the difference. I think the bowling as a whole was pretty good. Yes, you can say Blessing Muzrabani is having an off day. He's not bowling well. I saw him in the second ODI also. He did not bowl well, and even today he didn't bowl well. The paces went for runs. Richard Nagrava, by the way, bowled well. But it was that Maposa over, Tinonenta Maposa, who gave away 26 runs in that 18th over. That was the killer. And in T20, as you know, one over can change the complexion of the game. And when that over started, the game was on a knife edge. Even some felt Zimbabwe was slightly ahead. But as soon as the over got over, Sri Lanka just needed 8 runs of 12 balls. And that was just a cakewalk for them after that. So one over can make a big difference. And that is the beauty of the shortest format. Even one over can kill you. And Zimbabwe at the end of the day, I felt has again failed to capitalize on the clutch moments. Whenever the game was on the line, it is the established team like Sri Lanka who have somehow found a way to win this match. And I think Sri Lanka got out of jail, you can say, but they deserve the victory. And this victory will actually galvanize Sri Lanka even more. And it will be very difficult for Zimbabwe to come back and win the series from it. They can take a game out of the last two matches. That will be over the weekend. But I think Sri Lanka now will go on and I think clinch the series. That is what my feeling is at the moment.
Yeah, but if you ask me, this will make Zimbabwe more stronger. They might deliver a counter-attack punch. So Anup sir, we will hear from you the closing statement before we end this video and discussion. Your take, sir.
Yeah, my take was like I was listening to every one of you speaking that where Zimbabwe went wrong, everyone mentioned that 28 run over the one by Maposa. But for me, the clutch moment was the catch which spilled out of the hand of Brad Evans of Tamindu Mendes. That catch was the turning point because Tamindu Mendes was the major difference between Zimbabwe and defeat. He scored 40 of 18 balls. Come on. You can't leave a catch. You took a sensational relay catch to dismiss Dasun Shanata, who's a prolific T20 hitter. But a batter like the caliber of Famindu Mendes, he can't be given a life. And he showed you when given life what he does. He single-handedly fought a battle to take match out of Zimbabwe's hand. So all the hard work which they did from 96 for 0 in ninth over to almost 122 for 5 around 15 16th over which they made. Richard Nagarwa taking 2 wickets in an over. This brilliant relay catch all went in when only due to one drop opportunity. That's also you can call it an accident because his hand hit the ground very hard and ball spilled out of his hand. But giving life to Tamindu Mendes and then bowling a no ball in the 18th over by Moposa, it just shows the lack of maturity the Zimbabwean bowlers had. And yes, they will, as we say that it is a learning team, so it will learn in due course of time. And I wish that this series should not end like a 3-0 win for Sri Lanka. Let it spice up. Make it 1-1 in the second in T20, and then third one let Sri Lanka win and 2-1 would be the result. So that would be good not only for Sri Lanka but also for Zimbabwe, because Sri Lanka also today, if we look from 96 for 0, they were down to 126 for 5. So this means that in future they are now next going in the big tournament like Asia Cup. There they have bigger giants waiting for them like Pakistan, Afghanistan, and India, the shark over there. There, they, if they are from 96 for 0 to 126 for 5, these teams will be making them all out before 150. These teams would not spare them. So there is much more to learn to Sri Lanka as well. No doubt Hasranda will come back, but again, Hasranda is coming back from injury. How effective would he be in UAE? The condition, the dew factor, everything in the night matches will come into play. So overall, Sri Lanka too has a lot to learn from this
Yeah,
series
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Yes.
And more clinical, if they win the next two T20s, that would be good for them and Sanat Jayasuriya going forward. The coach, I said.
Yes, we
That's
can
my take
say
on the entire
yes.
match.
Yes, we can say Sarnath Jayasuriya is the unofficial captain of Sri Lanka because he's involved in every decisions, not Sri Lanka that much. But I would like to say one more thing before I close this entire discussion and our panels. Look, Zimbabwe is not automatically qualified. They are set to play qualifiers from 19 September to October 4 of qualifier region, and out of that, Botswana, Kenya, Malawi, Namibia, Nigeria, Tanzania, Uganda, Zimbabwe. There are 8 teams, out of which only two will go ahead. Look, Kenya is a rising one. So is Uganda. So is Namibia. Namibia will get a tough fight. So Zimbabwe, this is your last series before this qualifiers. It's now or never. Bring in Taylor, Brendan Taylor. I'm saying so that you get a good blend of experience and youth in the team. So it's going to be crucial, the World Cup, because this time Italy has qualified for the T20 World Cup. We can see some Europe fan base coming into the T20 World Cup in India and Sri Lanka, but we want Zimbabwe. But it would be too harsh to not allow Uganda or someone like uh, Nigeria, Tanzania, because expansion is the key here. I would be not that much happy if Zimbabwe doesn't qualify for World Cup directly, because that's the only tournament, last one, but we want other teams as well. Uganda was the team which pipped Zimbabwe in 2024 edition. We should not forget that Uganda is also a rising team. So Zimbabwe, pull up your socks. You performed really well. I am very happy the way you fight. Like Anup said, 96 for 0 to 126 for 5. It's a game of okay, then 19-20 का फर्क रहता है थोड़ा बहुत. That was the case, but still a lot to learn for both the teams. Second T20 international match is on 6th, like today is the 4th of September. So we will definitely connect after the second ODI post match. I am backing Zimbabwe underdog. If underdog wins, no, it's like another one. Sri Lanka is also an underdog. We all accept the reality and everything. But Sri Lanka is not a star team. It's a rising team, a team in transition. They have also a lot of power hitters, pinch hitters, but still a lot to ponder. Asia is also coming. So thank you everyone. Thank you on my right. And Chatterjee on my left, Anup, sir, and my bottom. Yes, Ayush, Shekhar giving a salute. We'll be back very soon with the Asia Cup matches as well. Team SWOT analysis. We'll have fun. All this five, like a 5 star, we will do it everything. So thank you everyone. Have a nice day, everyone. So only if you like the video, then only go ahead and share and like and do everything. But we are not forcing you. So thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.